everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thankful Thursday. We are here already this week, and today we have an extra special guest, my husband, Aaron. I'll bring him on here in a minute, but I just wanted to share how grateful I am that we get to be here every week. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Thanks for joining today. Hope everything is going well there. We're doing well here. We have been busy. We're planning another event coming up here soon, a couple of them actually. But the one I wanted to share because I am really excited about it is I am going to be doing a series throughout the rest of the year, and there'll be a little bit more information to come very soon. But basically, it's called Rise and Shine Yoga. So what it is going to be, it's going to be every Thursday morning, just for an hour. We'll start with a little mindset, and then we'll move into a yoga practice. And it's really intended to get us through that fourth quarter when we're all so busy, so overwhelmed. Life is just coming at us from all different directions, and it's just intended to really help us calm our mind, find more peace, use those tools that we learn, and really get us through this holiday season with more happiness and more joy, what we're supposed to have. Yes, there it is up in the corner, Rise and Shine Yoga. Thank you. So I just wanted to share that. We'll be coming out very soon. I'm just working on a couple final touches, and then I'll be able to share that with you all. But I wanted to give you a heads up. I'm really thankful for the support I've had from Aaron, kind of getting me to this point where I'm ready to share it with everyone. So it's pretty exciting. Yes, so we have a special guest today. Aaron, my husband, has joined us with our success group, and we wanted to talk a little bit about limiting beliefs, since it's something that we all have, but it really is, it holds us back. And, we're all about helping people achieve their dreams and see success and have happiness and love full out. So I want to have Aaron join us. Hello.
Hi there.
How are you?
I am great. I just feel like I just saw you. Oh, wait, I did. Okay.
Oh, yes. We maybe spent the morning together.
Yeah. Very
Breakfast.
lovely breakfast this morning. Thanks for
Yeah,
taking
and
me
then
out.
Costco.
That part was fun too.
Yes, definitely. Okay. So you're gonna manage the comments, or you want me to do that?
I've got my finger on the pulse. I got my finger on the button. I get to be a producer today too. So this is fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. I feel like I don't
definitely.
know what to do right now.
Yeah. Well, you just tell me what you want to do. Do you need to talk to some of the folks tuning in, or
Yeah, why
where are
don't
you
we
at? Where
check
are we
in
going?
with everyone before we really dive into what we're... Hey, Mom. Good morning. Hi, Richard. Good afternoon.
Hi,
Hi,
Cindy.
Cindy. Awesome. Okay, so today you and I were talking about limiting beliefs and how it's so important that we really address them instead of just pushing them off to the side, right? And
Yep. Yep.
living half a life instead of our full life and our full potential, right?
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so limiting beliefs kind of happen when you're doing something and you feel like you're holding back for whatever reason, and you just have that little feeling like you're not living up to your potential, and then it creates that internal conflict. And so that's that moment where you know that there is a limiting belief potentially holding you back from living your dreams.
Yep.
How would you describe limiting beliefs?
Yeah, I think you described it really well. Like you said, it's that kind of when you're pushing up against something that you know you should be doing or should be able to do, or whatever. Something's holding you back. Something's keeping you from taking that next step. And I think sometimes people think about limiting beliefs in this mindset of like, oh yeah, it's this big, major, massive thing, and but it doesn't have to be that. Any of these just little things. I when I first started learning about this and working on this myself, I was of that same mentality that, oh, these are just these massive barriers and just kind of part of who I am and that kind of thing. And was able to work on some big things and get through some big things and get some new understanding of some of the things that I quote unquote learned over time as a kid. But I've also noticed that even some of the smaller things, a limiting belief, the key part to it is that it's a belief. And and at the end of the day, a belief is really just something that we've chosen to decide is our reality.
Yeah.
And that's all that it is. And so once you can kind of wrap your brain around that side of it and realize that, the only thing in your way from whatever it is that you want is your brain and your beliefs. So how do you
Yeah.
how do you get beyond those? I guess it becomes the big, for me as a problem solver, that's what I want to know. How do I get beyond those things? So I guess that would be how I would describe a limiting belief.
No, that's wonderful. That was perfect. Yeah, it's that story we make up in our head about what we're capable of doing or what would happen or all the what ifs. And we put truth to that story sometimes,
Yeah.
even though it's not true.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Christine shared limiting beliefs can be really minor things you believe about yourself that stop you from taking a small step that would take you in a good direction. I think that's a
Mm.
very excellent way to
Yeah.
describe that.
Hmm.
And then she also mentioned it's also sad how some people in your life will reinforce your limiting beliefs. Can I make a quick comment on that, Kylene?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I agree, Christine, that that's definitely something to be aware of. I also think that it's also important to be aware of the fact that many times the limiting beliefs or that reinforcement of those limiting beliefs are not somebody being malicious necessarily. I mean, if you think about a lot of the limiting beliefs that, for me, a lot of the limiting beliefs that I kind of realize that I have to work through, I can trace back to my childhood and my parents. And I have amazing parents. They're wonderful, caring people, and did everything that they could to give me the best life possible. And I've been truly blessed by that. But when these situations arose where I started kind of installing these limiting beliefs, it wasn't that they were trying to, hold me down or keep me back. It was the exact opposite of it. They wanted to protect me. They wanted me to, not have to deal with a bunch of failure or challenges and things like that. And so these limiting beliefs can come from a lot of places.
Hmm.
Again, people with very good intentions, maybe people that, are jealous. And so they do want to hold you back, or sometimes even from ourselves, some experience happened and we then now install that as this belief of this is the way, this is always going to be. You and I were talking about something more jokingly today, but every time you kind of lift your knee, I get real like, whoa. And my belief is that something in the lower region of me is going to get hurt. So anyways,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it's sometimes there and it protects us. Our brain is wanting to protect us from any harm, and
yeah,
same with the people around us. Potentially, they are holding you back in a way to protect you.
yeah,
So good point. I appreciate her sharing that. That's awesome.
definitely.
Yeah. So limiting beliefs, sometimes we don't even realize they're there. Sometimes we just move forward and we don't really pay attention to it. And therefore, like I said, we're just not really living to our full potential. We're not playing big. We're not um, progressing as fast as we would like. I don't know if I think I shared at the beginning, you start to have that internal conflict happen, right?
Yeah,
When you want to be doing something, but you're still here, at one point, but you want to be there, but for whatever reason you can't get past this one point. And so really stopping at that moment and reflecting back and processing what's happening in this moment, and just being insightful to how you are responding to certain events, and then starting to put words to those feelings, and sometimes that's a hard process.
yeah, yep, exactly.
um Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just
uh,
agreeing with you. I'm waiting.
oh, I thought you were going to say something.
This is your show, Kylene. I'm just
Oh
here
no,
to
it's hard
push
for me
buttons
when
for
you're
you.
here. um and sometimes in those moments, if you really are staying in that safe place, right, sometimes we can even look for evidence to justify it. And I think that's a huge one. And I know that's one I've battled myself. I've really, um, I've grown a lot over the last year and a half, 2 years, personally, getting over my limiting beliefs. But it's not that they're completely gone. It's that I have been able to do the pause and reflect and then look for evidence to really understand that it's not really true. It's just something that I'm holding myself back, and then I can apply new responses, right,
Yeah.
to get the outcomes that I want. I don't know, Aaron, if you want to share a little bit about the E plus R equals O and how it kind of comes into play here.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Appreciate that opportunity. And I think this is again where you know, everybody's different, right? So let's just start off there. We all are different. Kylene and I have a wonderful relationship, but we are at times kind of polar opposites, right? So we um, don't always quite understand each other necessarily, but then we do the work to make sure that we get there. But my point being is that, so when I look at a challenge like this, right, I kind of feel internally I'm bumping up against a limiting belief or something like that. Immediately for me, I have this big need to solve problems. And so immediately for me, it's all about, okay, what can I do differently? Let's change, let's do something differently. And going to that. And so what I think, when we talk about E plus R equals O, and I don't know if everybody knows what E plus R equals O. So um, from this book, the success principles, it's the number one success principles. So E equals the event. So whatever it is, the thing that happened. R equals your response, what it is that, if you get cut off in traffic, do you flip them a bird, or do you, get really upset? Do you, that's your response, right? Or the alternative could be to worry about them and the fact that they're not paying attention, and just be grateful that you're okay. So those are,
Mhm.
the types of different responses. And then those two things together is what equals the outcome. So getting cut off in traffic doesn't just mean I got cut off in traffic, right? If getting cut off in traffic and then your response is to have gratitude that you're safe, then your outcome is going to be a much more positive
Mhm.
relief, joy, happiness. Or if your response is that alternative response of getting mad, flipping the bird, or whatever, now you're angry, potentially putting yourself into an even more dangerous situation. And
Yep.
I'm not throwing stones here because I've done both of those things. Poor Kylene has been around for some of that. But it's that kind of idea. And when you talk about that, when it comes to our limiting beliefs, again, it's what is the decision that you make when you come up against that? Your response could be that I have a limiting belief. And so your response could be to blame your parents, to um, be upset, to give up, to, that those are some of the negative potential
Yep.
responses. Or your other response could be, okay, be aware, take a moment to pause, figure out the root cause of that limiting belief, and then do the work to get beyond it and step outside of your comfort zone.
Yep.
And so whatever your response is going to equal two very different O's, outcomes, results, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so to me, that's where the E plus R equals O comes into play with that limiting belief, is that opportunity there to pick your response and what you're going to do with it. And so,
Yep.
yeah, as a problem solver, that's where my brain goes.
Yeah, no, I think you said that perfectly. Yeah, it's that opportunity to pause and really just see, is there really any evidence here to support what I'm thinking is going to happen? And
Yeah,
then I liked how you added the gratitude in there, because when we lead with the state of gratitude, therefore we have a state of abundance and a higher vibration and more positive thinking, and we start to attract more of that instead of, like you said, the negative outcomes that kind of spiral downward really quickly if we let it.
yeah,
So it's just, it's really just being aware of your thoughts and not letting them dictate your life, because your brain is designed to protect you. And Therefore, if you really want to move forward and get past some of these barriers potentially you're feeling, you have to start identifying them.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
can I, like, because you said, I thought this was really key, and I hope people heard that, where you said, your brain is not made. And when you're talking about that, what you're talking about is our subconscious brain, the
yeah.
the thing that kind of really controls most of the things that we don't um consciously think of.
Mm-hmm.
That is the part of our brain that controls a lot of our responses, right? Because if we don't take that pause, we're just going to rely back on whatever our belief is about that situation. Like I was joking about the fact every time I see somebody near me raise a knee, I get because that's my belief of what's going to happen. And if I don't stop and pause and think about it, then I get I have that angry response. But if I stop and pause and think about it, then I can change what my outcome is, and it can be funny joke, and everybody's happy, right? So that when you talk about your brain isn't designed to do that, it's your subconscious brain, that animal brain, some people call it, things like that. It has one function and one function only. Okay, that's oversimplifying it.
Yeah.
Its main function. It's kind of like we tell our son Lewis. In fact, Kylene came up with this. I think this is fantastic as a way to kind of explain why sometimes we hold him back a little bit, because our number one job as parents to a young child, and the older he gets, the more we let him
Yeah.
explore. But our number one job for a infant toddler was to keep him safe.
Yep.
And that's what our subconscious brain is designed to do, is to keep us safe, to conserve energy, keep us safe, food, shelter, that kind of thing. So anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to jump in and take over there, but I just thought that was
Yep.
such an important point that you made, that I wanted to make sure people understood where that was coming from.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, and really, when you start to put words and to these thoughts, and identifying these limiting beliefs, and then creating responses that get you those outcomes that you're desiring, that's the magic. That's where all this, um, your potential, your dreams, your living life, feeling fulfilled, comes into play, because you're not just putting in a little bit of effort to keep you in the safe zone. You're really living full out. And I think that's why, we have created this workshop that we have coming up, and designed to help you determine what your limiting beliefs are, so you can do this process. You can put words into what potentially is holding you back, so you can move forward and be successful. And it's one of the tools that we've learned about and we've gone through ourselves, that's made a huge difference in our life. And it's it's so powerful, and I'm so excited that we get to share it with other people as well.
Yeah,
Did you want to share anything about our workshop, what's going to happen in the 60 minutes that
sure, be happy
will
to.
be the workshop?
Yeah. So just to make sure that, again, we all have different ways that we see the world. And
Yeah.
so what I was hearing, just to make sure everybody's kind of clear, so Kylene and I have put together a workshop. We've been fortunate enough to be able to present it one time, and our plan is to monthly, as long as people show up and are interested, monthly, we're going to have this same workshop where it's, we renamed it, rebranded it a little bit just to kind of make it a little more clear, because we got feedback from folks that didn't quite understand what it was all about. So it's called Unlocking Your Potential. And like Kylene said, it's 60 minutes, and it's an opportunity to um, find the limiting belief, figure out what's holding you back, try to dig into, in fact, not try, we dig into the root cause of it, and we go back as far as we can go back. See, our brains, when you're doing things like that and you're working on things like that, you're only going to go as far as you are able to go, as far as you're ready to go. And so
Yeah.
that's why when you work on stuff like this, sometimes you have to go back to it multiple times, because then you can go further and further. So what we do is we work with the folks in the workshop to go back as far as they can, as
Yeah.
wherever their comfort level is, to be able to make some steps and identify what was going on, identify how to change that belief, installing So talk about E plus R equals O. So now we're going to go back in time. We're going to time travel back to the event, and we're going to change the R. And because what we have the power to do that, because what's happening is that event is still playing over and over again in our mind as that belief. And so until we change the picture, right, then
Yeah.
we're going to keep having the same outcomes that we don't want anymore. We want new, better outcomes. And so that's what the bulk of it is for me. Is that that's the part I get really excited about. And then to ground that experience, we have a little worksheet that everybody takes a little bit of time to fill out, and then we come back together and we do some sharing. Again, very comfortable, very safe environment. Share where you're at, and you have an awesome saying that you use a lot in yoga and stuff like that, Kylie. What how's it go?
Wherever you're at is perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
because it can be a very vulnerable experience, right? You're going back, you're going to a moment of time that has impacted you for many years,
Yep.
and to be able to do that is, um, not, I can't think of the right word right now. It can be a little scary, right, to go back to that moment.
Sure.
Um,
Well, I can tell a quick story to
yeah,
kind of illustrate that point. One of the things that I go back to, in fact, I continue to use this because I think this is a big area, and it's getting much better, but I keep going back to it. But the very first time I did this exercise and really went full out for myself, um, I was working with somebody who I'd met a couple times on a Zoom, and that was the extent of our knowing each other. And I was bawling like a baby. So I was finally ready to let go of some of that stuff, and even talking through it still, because I've kind of used the same example as we've done this, because the deal is Kylene and I are going to do that. We've done this, and we will do it and show you it and model it for you in a real way. It's not just fake. We're doing this. We kind of go through the process ourselves and show it to you and model it to you. And I don't know if you noticed last time, Kylene, I still got teary-eyed a little bit. So again, a little scary, a little bit, but I mean, I can't tell you how amazing I felt afterwards.
yep,
So that tough moment of like feeling those feelings, and Kylene knows this, I'm not a feeling guy necessarily, but actually allowing myself to feel those feelings was challenging. But it also was probably, no, rephrase that, not probably, it was also the best thing I could have done for myself. So
yeah.
sorry.
No, I'm happy that you shared that. It's really powerful. And that's why I think we're so passionate about sharing this with other people, is because we do know how it works. We do know how it's impacted us and how powerful it can be. Um, because, a lot of times, like I said at the beginning, we don't even realize some of those limiting beliefs are there, or we can't put words to them, or we don't know why. So now you have this opportunity to really understand it more so you can move past it. And that's why I'm super excited about it. Um, and like you said, change that narrative about that story you've created from that event, to help you move forward is huge. So that is the website to go to, oursuccessgroup.com/unlock. Aaron, do you want to share that page, or is
Yeah.
that
Nope. I
what I
do want to
have?
share that page. I just have to click on
Yeah.
the right button.
Okay.
Gosh, I've gotten, oh shoot, I keep clicking on the wrong button.
That's okay.
Can you
There you go.
share? No, I don't have the right one up.
You
Okay.
want me to share my screen?
Yeah, why don't you do
Okay.
that? I don't know
I
why
can
I
do
can't
that.
get to that one. And then while Kylene's sharing the screen, because I was supposed to do this and I didn't get it right. Real
I
couple
got
of
it. Oh,
I know you got it, but let me just Todd said hello guys,
hey,
and
Todd.
we missed Christine earlier saying good to see the two of us together. Yeah.
Oh,
And then Cindy did say take the high road, as we were talking about
oh,
the
that must have been
responses, right?
the car story.
Yep,
So,
car story and
yeah,
and your responses. Okay, so
awesome.
you are
Okay, you shared it. Okay. All
I'll tell you
right.
now. I've finally got it. Sorry.
Okay, so there we go.
Now you
I guess
can
I'll just go here.
scroll where you need to go.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just the landing page that it'll take you to. So if you wanted to read a little bit more into what you would experience during the 60-minute virtual workshop, you would be able to do that here. I just really, again, want to share that it's going to be a safe environment, non-judgmental. Everyone is there for their own benefit to work past something, right? And
Yeah.
so we understand that we're all there for the same reason. So no one's going to be judging you if you have, a stronger reaction. We all process things differently.
Hmm.
It's okay. So I just wanted again to share that with you all. So um, these are the dates that we have coming up. The first one here is October 21st.
Why don't you scroll down? You got them all right there on the right side now in big letters.
Am I there?
See, October. Yep, you're there right now. October
Okay.
20. Oh, go back up. Okay, there you go. Stop right.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Now you've scrolled down too far. There you go. Okay, now you got
Okay.
it. There you
I'll
go.
check
Good
it.
job.
I have it. Okay. So we try to change the dates and the times and all of that, days of the week, so everyone can have an opportunity to experience this because it is so powerful. So I just wanted to make sure people could see what the landing page really looked like. So
Do you want to go
if
back and
you,
just read the dates though? These are what we've got scheduled for the next 5 months here.
yeah, am I there?
Yep, you're there now.
Okay.
So we've got October 21st, 2021. That'll be at 7 p.m. Central Time. So that's a Thursday evening, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
There's a weeknight evening opportunity there. Then November 20th, we've
That
got
is a Saturday.
that is a Saturday. Okay. And that's at 11 a.m. Central Time, uh, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, that kind of thing. Then the next one's December 10th, 2021.
That's a Friday.
That is a Friday. And that's so a Friday afternoon, 2 p.m. Central Time. And then once we get into 2022, we've got one scheduled for January 19th.
Which is a
That's
Wednesday.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then again, we'll keep adding these. We try to keep about 5 of them on the docket. Again, as long as people are showing up and are interested in this, we'll keep doing it. February 28th, 2022,
Which is a Monday.
a Monday at 5 p.m. So let's see, February, March. I think March will need to put another Saturday one in there. So I'll make a note of that.
Yep.
All right, cool. So
awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I'm turning it back over. Sorry, took
Oh
over
boy.
again. You got to watch out.
I feel like I don't have the controls. The other cool thing that we all can do and have access to is, really when you're trying to create that new narrative and really truly believing in yourself that you can achieve something and you believe that what your dreams are going to be possible. One of the tools that we have is to write affirmations, to say affirmations. And I'm sure some of you already are doing that. But they are so powerful because it does tell that subconscious brain that something has already happened. So it's believing that what you are desiring to happen in the future has already happened. And therefore, your brain's going to work with you to start picking up on things that will help you get to that goal. And they're really powerful. And if you structure them in a certain way, it's even more impactful and helpful for you to really truly start to believe in that new belief system. So we do have a step-by-step guide to constructing your affirmations. And Aaron, I don't know if you want to show that page.
Sure. And here's what and I'll put the link up here, but let's just show this real quick for folks, Kylene.
Yep.
So what we've got here is just a kind of a, like you said, a guide, just a little bit information. And Kylene, when you mentioned that it's about, how you structure it, here's the thing I think about it. I know that, as school and stuff has evolved, like for example, our son currently is going to an elementary school that is called a lighthouse school. And they have the 7 habits from the 7 habits of highly effective people as kind of a core part of what they teach there. And so, that growth, but still, I mean, at least for me, and I was never taught about goal setting, about affirmations, about breaking through my limiting beliefs, and these are all the things that we need for success. The other stuff is great, the math, the science, and the English and the history and all that kind of fun stuff, but this mindset stuff, I think, is even more important than a lot of that stuff. And so we never got taught that. And I think that's why you and I are so passionate about sharing this stuff, is that it just all makes sense once you start putting it all together and doing it in a very specific way. So,
Mhm.
and that's what we got to here with this guide for creating effective affirmations. There's what I think 8 or 9 bullet points here, kind of
Yeah.
helping kind of walk through it. So you'll get all this information, and 9 bullet points there. And it doesn't have to be all 9, but the more of those you get in there, the more powerful it's going to be for you and your subconscious brain that we talked about a little bit earlier. And then
Yeah.
we've got a whole there's 8 total pages here, a bunch of sample affirmations that you can borrow, make your own, use. A lot of the affirmations that I use actually came as starting point from a lot of these things. So we've got a whole bunch of them covering everything from career to health to parenthood to community to province, material needs, those kinds of things. So, and even at the very end here, Kylene, a full kind of fill in the blanks, choose your own adventure kind of thing. Let me get down to it. Yeah. So,
Yes. Yep.
so you can just, if it's not kind of coming to you, try one of these, just try plugging in your life into the blanks here and try using those for 30 days and see how that goes. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that fill in the blanks because sometimes we can get stuck. But I did want to point out, the number one thing to do with your affirmations is the beginning part of I am, because that's that command to your subconscious brain
yep. Yep.
um, to go
Great
into
point.
action, right?
Yep, exactly. So anyhow, if people want that, we just want to get that out to as many people as we can. Um, I don't know if you want me to show the page or just put up the link here,
Why don't you
Kylene,
put up
but
that link, Aaron?
okay. So put up the link. So oursuccessgroup.com/blocks, and that'll get you that affirmations guide. You'll get an email. So make sure you're checking your email from success@oursuccessgroup.com. Check your spam folder if you didn't get it, or reach out if you didn't get it, and we'll get it sorted. But yeah, so
Awesome.
I like I said, Kylene, I just think that that's such an amazing tool that I'm not sure a lot of people had stuff like this available to them, and so as our mentor Jack Canfield's kind of teaching these things, he wants this to get out into the world, and so that's our job, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think we have been fortunate enough to gain this knowledge, and it's our responsibility now to share it with other people because it does work, and it can be really helpful. And we always want people to be happy and successful, and if we can support you all in that, to find even more happiness and more success, I should say,
yeah,
um, that's what these resources are all about.
sure, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And
Awesome.
honestly, Kylene, for me, not to give away all my secrets here, but
Mhm.
for me, it's a little bit selfish too, because I actually derive like a great deal of pleasure, success. One of my core principles, strengths, whatever you want to call it, is significance. And so being able to share this stuff and seeing other people put it to use and make a difference is like, that's kind of like getting $1 million for me. So
Yeah. Well, it's huge. I mean, and like I said, the stuff, it really works. And it's things that maybe we've been aware of, but like you said, if it's not, well, there we go. Yeah, if it was never taught to you, um, you kind of learn as you go, right? And then if you're doing that, you might miss out on some of those critical steps. And you could really have more more impact and more progress if you go through the right process to doing that.
All right, Kylene. Well,
So,
it's your show. Where do we go next?
That's right. It's my show. Well, I just want to thank you for hopping on here and
You're welcome.
talking about limiting beliefs a little bit with me and sharing the workshop and the resource guide with everyone. I think it's really important. We all really deserve to have the life of our dreams, and we can start living there by, identifying those limiting beliefs and moving forward. So thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. You can come on anytime you want.
Well, I'm around, so you know where to find me.
Very true. Very true.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to sit back and tune in.
Okay.
I'm ready for the CTA.
All right. So your call to achievement, I didn't put it in a banner though. I forgot that part, is to sign up for the workshop. We would love to have you. We would love to share this knowledge with all of you. So your call to achievement is to sign up for the Unlock Your Potential workshop. So that again is oursuccessgroup.com/unlock. So that's your call to achievement. If you have any questions or any concerns or anything, please reach out to Erin or I. We are here to help. I want you to feel comfortable moving through this process, and just reach out to us. We'll guide you. We'll answer any questions you might have. So again, your call to achievement, sign up for the workshop. Thanks for posting that. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.